You know, they say revenge is a dish best served cold, but what if it's just a prank on a bunch of people you didn't even want at your party? That's what I found myself grappling with back when I graduated high school. I was excited about this milestone, but I also felt trapped in a scenario I never asked for. I remember standing in the mirror, staring at my reflection, a knot in my stomach. Graduation, a time for celebration, but for me it felt more like a sentence. You see, I had always struggled with loneliness, anxiety, and, let's not forget, a little something called ADHD that made it all 10 times harder. Making friends was like trying to catch smoke with my bare hands. Every time I tried, I felt like I was left grasping at nothing but air. In my neighborhood, all the cool kids, those flawless, confident teenagers who seemed to glide effortlessly through life, had formed their exclusive circle. They were tight-knit, like a group of superheroes who kept all the average kids like me at bay. I so desperately wanted to be part of their world, but they snubbed me at every turn, leaving me out of all their fun parties and gatherings. They were like the cast of Friends, but the mean version. You get the idea. Luckily, I eventually found solace at my first job at a grocery store. I met a group of people who genuinely saw me for me, not for the label of different I had been branded with. My work friends welcomed me into their lives as if I was a long-lost brother. We shared laughter and stories, and just being around them made me feel like I actually belonged somewhere. As graduation approached, I decided to throw a party, a celebration just for the friends who appreciated me. However, my parents had other plans. They insisted on inviting the very people I'd hoped to avoid, claiming it was important to include everyone in our close-knit community. "What will the neighbors think?" they said. I knew it wasn't just about socializing, it was about reputation and gossip, something I wanted no part of. How could they not see I didn't want those cool kids at my party? They were the very same bullies who had made my teenage life a series of awkward moments. But when I realized they were indeed going to be part of the guest list, I felt lost. It felt like a betrayal, not just by my parents, but by the universe itself. Instead of face-to-face confrontation, I decided to channel my frustrations into a more creative outlet, a prank. The day came to send out the official invitations, and that's when I hatched my plan. I tampered with the invitations sent to the cool kids, giving them a fake address an hour away from where the party would actually be held. It felt like something out of a heist movie, like I was pulling off something brilliant. I could imagine their expressions when they realized they had been duped and how sweet that victory would taste. Night fell, and my work friends arrived, the atmosphere buoyant with laughter and good vibes, contrasting sharply with the foreboding presence of the cool kids. Everything was going according to plan until suddenly they showed up, all glitzy hair and arrogant grins, as if they owned the place. Somehow, they'd figured it out and crashed the party with dramatic flair. My heart sank. They moved through the crowd, passive-aggressive comments dripping from their lips like poison. I felt like I was in a reality show where the villains had made their entrance at the climax. That night, I retreated to my friend's place, my sanctuary, feeling defeated and a bit ashamed. Then came the fallout. The next day, I was met with an onslaught of angry messages from my parents, the cool kids, and their social circle. "You ruined everything. You were selfish." They were furious with me for undermining their reputation, but all I could think was, wasn't my party supposed to be for me? They railed at how I had made them look bad in front of the community. But whose community? The one that had kept me on the outskirts all these years? I argued that I had every right to invite or uninvite whoever I wanted. Yet it felt like I was shouting into a void. They insisted the party was for everyone, like communal gatherings were woven into our culture. But why did that have to erase my right to enjoy my own celebration? To this day, I still ponder whether I was in the right or wrong, and find myself asking the same question. AITA for pulling off a prank on people who'd been mean to me? If you were in my shoes, would you have done the same? I hope to hear your thoughts. We all navigate this messy web of relationships and expectations differently, don't we? What would you have done?